Today I will be showing you a simple vegetarian meal that I cooked for my family. On today's menu is a simple red lentil Bengali style dal, pan-fried eggplant that was freshly picked from my container garden, and a delicious but very easy to make paneer recipe. Namaskar and welcome to Curries with Bumbi. I started by rinsing half a cup of red lentils and added it to my Instant Pot pressure cooker. You can use any pressure cooker of your choice, or you can even cook the lentils in a regular pot. I always prefer using a pressure cooker whenever I cook lentils because it is quick and easy. I added 3 cups of hot water along with a teaspoon of turmeric powder, a teaspoon of oil and a teaspoon of salt. I set the pressure cooking time to 10 minutes. And then let's move on to making the paneer while the pressure cooker does its job. In my blender jar, I added 2 medium to large tomatoes and about half an inch of ginger. You can also add a tablespoon of cashew nuts, but today I chose not to use any nuts. Blend to a smooth puree. Pan on medium heat, 4 tablespoons of oil. Once the oil turned hot, I added the paneer. You do not have to cut the paneer like this. Just cut them any way you prefer. Do not fry them too much as they will get rubbery and tough. Here I have taken about a cup of hot water in which I dissolved half a teaspoon of salt. Once the paneer gets this beautiful golden color, transfer them to the hot saline water. The saline water will make the paneer soft. I skip this step if I use homemade paneer, but store-bought paneer gets softer if treated this way. Okay, so there is enough oil in the pan, and since I won't be using any onions nor garlic today, adding just a teaspoon of my homemade ghee really boosts up the flavor. You do not have to use homemade ghee, you can also use store-bought ones. I added a teaspoon of shahi jeera, that is black cumin seeds or caraway seeds. It brings in a beautiful nutty flavor, but if you do not get them, just use regular cumin seeds instead. I also added a dry red chili, which brings in a smoky flavor when fried in oil. Then add the pureed tomato ginger mix. Next is spice time. A teaspoon of turmeric powder, a teaspoon of Kashmiri red chili powder, a teaspoon of ground coriander and a teaspoon of ground cumin. Stir everything on medium to low heat till it gets a dry, pasty kind of look. See, now the mixture is looking fairly dry. So next I added 2 teaspoons of my homemade shahi garam masala powder. Now my friends, I've left the link to the video of shahi garam masala powder in the description box. If you do not want to make it, just use store-bought garam masala powder. But I am telling you, homemade garam masala is so much better. I added the paneer along with all that water in which it was submerged. Next, half a cup of warm milk goes in. My friends, you can also follow this same recipe using tofu, and you can use coconut milk or almond milk in place of regular milk. I did a taste test to check if it needs more salt, and I added a little more of salt. I also added a teaspoon of sugar to balance the flavors, but it is totally optional. Then let it simmer away on low heat for about 8 to 10 minutes. Next, it is time to get some fresh eggplants. I recently shared a picture in my community feed after harvesting some eggplants, and some of you requested to share some pictures of what I am growing. My friends, I am really blessed to be having this small terrace, which I put to full use during summer. Container gardening is my only option. This year I am growing Malabar spinach, also known as pui shag in Bengali. It is an excellent option for growing in summer, as regular spinach cannot grow in this excessive heat. I will show you some recipes using Malabar spinach. They are really very delicious. Peppers grow very well in containers, and so does eggplant. This is my first time growing eggplants, and my goodness, I'm so happy with how much they are producing. I've planted about 4 eggplants, and look how it is producing even in such a small container. I also pick 1 or 2 okras every day. I like growing the baby baba okras because they are just like the ones sold in India. Tomatoes grow very well in container gardens as well. I will use this Black Beauty variety of eggplant today for our meal. Now back to my kitchen. I will make the popular Bengali recipe that is begun bhaja, where begun is eggplant and bhaja means to fry. but I always pan fry it with minimum amount of oil. Rub some salt and a tiny bit of turmeric powder on the eggplants. Pan fry them on medium-low heat, covering the pan and turning them from time to time until they turn soft. My paneer is almost done. I added 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground mace, that is javitri. You can also use ground nutmeg if you do not have mace, and just 1/4 of a teaspoon of crushed dry fenugreek leaves, that is kasoori methi. And our paneer is all done. You can add a little bit of oil if you need to while frying the eggplants. The dal is also cooked. Allow all the pressure to be released naturally and then open the lid of your cooker. After pressure cooking is done, switch off the heat and allow all the pressure to be released naturally and then open the lid of your cooker. Since I will be serving this with rice, we like it on the runny side. Smoothen it out with a stirrer or whisk or hand blender. You can add less water if you want a thicker consistency. I'm making a Bengali style light and runny Masoor Dal. Heat about a tablespoon of oil. Once the oil turns hot, lower the heat to low and add 2 dry red chilies along with a teaspoon of panch phoron, that is Bengali 5 spices. I have a video on how to make panch phoron on my channel, so please check that out. It is extremely aromatic, so please give it a try. Now if you do not feel like making panch phoron, you can also add cumin seeds. But I would highly recommend using panch phoron. As soon as the seeds start spluttering, switch off the heat and transfer this aromatic goodness into the cooked dal. And immediately cover the pot so that all the smoky spice goodness gets infused into that dal. And our light and simple Masoor Dal is all done. And isn't that simple? My begun bhaja is also done and it is time to plate up. So this is my very simple vegetarian thali today. I did not use any onion nor garlic for the paneer, but yet it turned out to be very delicious. Then the light Masoor Dal with Bengali 5 spices and begun bhaja, that is pan-fried eggplant served with rice. It took me just an hour or maybe less to make all this. My friends, food can be simple, nourishing, yet delicious. And it doesn't have to be always so complicated involving multiple ingredients. You do not have to be perfect when you're cooking in your own kitchen. According to me, being in your kitchen and being able to cook for your family is graceful enough. So please slow down a bit sometimes and cook in a simple way. Bye bye.